What's the rush? Friends of yours? I don't think so.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 action film Exit Protocol. The film is directed by Shane Dax Taylor and it stars Scott Martin, Dolph Lundgren, Michael Jai White and Charlotte Kirk. Now the film focuses on Scott Martin's character, Sam Hayden. He is an elite assassin and his job really is to take out other assassins who have lost their usefulness, so to speak. And he's given then the task of taking out Dolph Lundgren's character, Charles Manigault, who at one point was the most feared assassin in the world. But he's gone rogue, he's trying to get out. So he goes to try and take him out, Sam Hayden, this hitman. He misses the target, and then they essentially have to team up when he realizes that Dolph Lundgren essentially has found God, if you like, but he's also got a girlfriend played by Charlotte Kirk, who is pregnant. So they kind of team up, and they are chased by a load of other assassins led by Michael Jai White's character, Isaac Florentine, who himself is an elite assassin. So essentially it's like assassin against assassin against assassin. And you've got this kind of, back and forth throughout the whole film. Right, what are my thoughts on Exit Protocol? Well, this is, by very definition really, a very generic, by-the-numbers, unoriginal action film. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that if the action film in question is done to a good standard. And this is done to an acceptable standard, if you like. It's not elevated with great budgets or anything like that. And it's got a bit of an oddity going on here because the lead character here, Scott Martin, I've never heard of him before. I mean, he does fine in the film. I don't have a problem with him. But quite clearly, the people behind this film have not got a great deal of faith in him because you can't find his name anywhere really on the posters. It doesn't exist. They're using Dolph Lundgren and Michael Jai White to sell this film, understandably. Now, Michael Jai White's not in it a great deal. In actual fact, Michael Jai White didn't need to be in this film. He doesn't do anything of any real relevance. And Dolph Lundgren, yeah, he is, the co-star of the film. He's in it a lot. But I have to say, one thing I've noticed with Dolph Lundgren the last 2 or 3 films that I've watched and reviewed him in, and I know he's struggled with his health these last couple of years, and I think he actually had a cancer battle as well. I might be wrong on that, but I think he did. He is moving very gingerly these days. And I mean, he's a big guy, he's a tall guy, and usually tall guys, when they get older, they start feeling it in the joints and the knees and all that kind of stuff. And I'm wondering if that's the case with Dolph now, because he does not appear particularly mobile. And I've noticed that more and more in his movies. So you can't really buy him as this badass assassin in this film. So there's just something a little bit off. And the chemistry between himself and Charlotte Kirk, who normally you tend to see in films that are directed by her muse, if you like, Neil Marshall. She tends to be in every film that he does these days because they've got a bit of a thing going on, as far as I'm aware. But she's appeared in this. This is not a good career move for her. There's no chemistry between her and Dolph Lundgren. She's got nothing to do in the film other than run and scream a bit here and there. It's a strange choice for her to make, from going from practically leading roles in Neil Marshall films to a nothing part in this film, unless she split with Neil Marshall and this is all she can get these days. I don't know. But it as an action film, it's competent at best. The gunplay is all good. The fight choreography is of a decent standard. It does its job. But it's just one of those films that you can kind of put on that doesn't... It's not offensively bad or anything. But you've seen it all before, much, much better than this. And it's one of those films where you're kind of like, why does it exist? Who's it for? You know, why? It's just it seems a bit odd to me that this film exists because it's not bad, it's not good, it's not original. It's got someone in the lead role who I've never heard of before. It's got Dolph Lundgren, who is past his prime, and you've got Michael J. White, who does practically nothing in the film. It's just it's a bit odd, if you like, when you've got these kind of ingredients thrown into the film. But like I say, I think the production values are of a standard to kind of make this, a streaming film that, people will, they'll see the name Dolph Lundgren, Michael J. White, and they'll put it on and it'll finish and they kind of be like, well, didn't hate that, but it wasn't anything particularly special or memorable. And who was that guy in the lead role? What was he called? Scott Martin? Who's that? I mean, don't get me. He, like I said, he does a decent job here, but he's no leading man. And he was about as convincing a badass assassin as, well, I don't know, as I would be, maybe. You just don't buy him as this badass assassin. As much as the film tries to push him as such, and he keeps reminding everybody that he's the world's best assassin, and you just don't end up buying it. So while I don't think this film is going to win any awards for best action film of the year, it definitely isn't. But it's certainly not the worst action film you're going to watch this year either. It's really bang straight down the middle. This one, it's as average an action film as you're ever going to see. Like I've said, not offensively bad or anything, but certainly you could not describe this film as good or anything close to good. So that's my thoughts on Exit Protocol. Let me know your thoughts if you're thinking of checking this one out. And I will, of course, be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.